Care to do a little time traveling with me? Last year, I received an order for 3 10-ounce gold bars. And that's what I have here is 30 ounces of pure gold. The catch is, the collector is over in the UK, and I don't ship precious metals internationally, especially gold. The whole shipping across international borders, it's risky, and it's tough to get that stuff insured properly. So after a little back and forth, the customer decided to come and visit me in the U.S. and pick up his gold bars. So the first step here is to get them done. So here we are. Look at this beautiful grain going in. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'll tell you, picking up that 30-ounce dish that you saw in the beginning, holy cow, phenomenal. It's so heavy. But all right, let's get this stuff melted down here. Of course, I'm speeding through it. This was like super long, like 399 minutes. I'm busting down into 20 minutes here. So here we go. Melt it down nice and clean. Preheat that mold. Make sure it's nice and hot. It's got to be at least 250, 300 degrees. Make sure you steam out any moisture that's in it. Let's get this great pour in. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I love that molted gold. And those nice ripples there. Spot on. Perfect. Yeah, that's a beautiful bar. Alright. Dump it out of the mold here. And let's cool it down. Nice. Alright, I'm going to cool that off, dry it, and we'll set it aside here. Look at that shine. Perfect. Alright, while the dish is hot, I'm going to get right to it again. We'll load it up. Another 10 ounces of pure gold going in. And then we'll get this torch fired up. Alright. The mold's still pretty hot, so I don't have to worry about it too much. But I still want to keep it warm, so you'll see me go back and forth a little bit. We'll get this gold melted down. And look at that beautiful looking stuff here. Alright. Mold's nice and hot and we're ready to go. Beautiful. That is so fun to watch. As I'm pouring these big bars, whenever I got that oxyacetylene torch going, I have to wear a tinted mask. Otherwise, it's going to fry my eyeballs out. And so everything I'm seeing is basically green. So it's great to... Yeah, let's cool this down. It's great to actually watch it again in full color. Alright, another beautiful bar. Again, I'm going to dry it off and we'll set it aside here. Another beauty. Perfect. Alright. Reload the dish here. Try to get our third and final pour. Make sure we got every little bit out of there. Get this torch fired up and here we go. See if we can get a better angle on this thing here. Here we go. Takes a little bit to melt 10 ounces of gold. I got this speed time of the film going pretty fast. I don't know what it is, but it's cooking. Alright, we're getting our third and final pour here. Tap out some beautiful ripples here. Got just a little blurry. I think the focus kind of shifted up. But look at that. Just gorgeous. Yeah, another beautiful bar. Again, we'll cool it off. Listen to that. Hot stuff. Beautiful, fresh, pure gold bar. Alright, I'll dry it off. We'll set that with the others. minor adjustment. Alright, clean up and we'll get to the next stage here. Man, I always get so nervous with those pours. And, I want them to be just right. And then my blood pressure probably goes up another few points during this part. Want to get these stamps laid out real nice. Want to make sure I don't drag them across and scratch the thing. Get this pounded out. Get that lithic mark stamped in there. And here we go. Of course, I lay out the AU symbol, the symbol for gold. Mark in the weight. And I stamp in the lithic spear point. I got this handy little plastic vise here that I use to hold the bigger bars so they don't go flying out of my hands. Alright, one down. Nice. Yeah, you see me spin it back and forth. It's just I want to make sure, I kind of already got it set in my mind which way I want to go. But I want to take one last look just to make sure this is the right angle for the bar. Again, tap in all the marks. Get it numbered in the front. Alright, knock that one out. Perfect. One more to go. Heart's racing. Can't tell with gloves, but the palms are sweaty. Alright, here we go. Tap that beauty out. It's a larger stamp, so you gotta give it a couple good whacks. Alright, we'll get this one laid out, numbered out, and voila. 3 beautiful 10-ounce gold bars, all set. Love dropping that hammer back to where it goes. It's always a big relief when I can do that. I know the hard work is done here. Look at those beauties. Alright, look at the shine on that. Isn't that gorgeous? Alright, I'm going to get these COAs knocked out. We got the 8th bar, 9th, and 10th bar in the series. And so I'm a little farther past that now, but boy, these were so fantastic. What an accomplishment that was for my peace of mind, my own goals to knock these out. 3 gorgeous bars. I keep saying gorgeous. Oh yeah, they're phenomenal. It's not because I made them necessarily. I mean, great, that's cool, but it's just, look at that gold, man. It's awesome. Alright, I just always got to double check the weight at the end. You see I make them just a touch heavy. Alright, we'll get that last one in. Boom, perfect. Alright, all 3 are ready to go. So, look at this. Alright, 3 gorgeous looking gold bars. Now, after this, I got to get them to the customer. So after this, now I headed down into Chicago, into O'Hare, and we headed straight north up into the Wisconsin North Woods. And we thought if he's going to come in for a couple days, we might as well make the most of it. So from Wisconsin, we headed up to the UP, to the Michigan Upper Peninsula. Here we hit the Seaman Mineral Museum, and man, is this place jam-packed, full of fantastic specimens. This is out front. This thing is like 35,000 pounds, if I remember correctly, like 35,000 pounds. Just a solid slab of copper. It's amazing. I believe, if my memory serves me, we can read in here, yeah, they dragged this out of the bottom of Lake Superior. And as soon as you go in the doors, you're greeted with spectacular specimens like this copper piece right here. Now, this is copper country up in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. We're in like the Houghton area here. Houghton, Hancock, is that right? I better be right. But, of course, I got to go directly to the gold specimens. Now, they have specimens from all over the world. Most of the copper you're going to see is right there from Michigan. But these pieces come from all over the world. They are just phenomenal. I kind of sped this up too a little bit. At first I was going to do it in normal time and let you guys freeze frame it and check every bit out. Hopefully you'll still be able to, if you want to take a look, you'll be able to pause it. But this is a big old silver specimen. You see these dark stringy pieces? Those are actually silver, and they have oxides formed over. Look at that, those stringy, like crystal. I don't even know the terms anymore for some of this stuff, but absolutely magnificent specimens. And it's not just the metals. I'm basically just showing you the copper, the silver, and the gold that they have here. Look at these copper chunks. Now this is all from the UP. Pretty much every piece of copper they got there is coming from out of Michigan. But like I was saying, I'm mainly showing you the metals, but they have specimens of all sorts of minerals, rocks, minerals from all over the world. And just amazing, the amount of colors and textures, and look at these crystals, just phenomenal. Just I could spend a week just staring at the pieces here at the museum. Now it's like a half-breed there. I hate that term, half-breed, but that's what they call a specimen that is, like, in this case, like half copper, half silver. In some of these, I prefer to call them hybrids. Look at the size of those chunky crystals. Oh my gosh, amazing. I don't even know how something like that forms. You know, does that in a pocket, or was the matrix removed? I don't know. But one after another. Like I said, I could spend all day here. Just, I've found some pretty great specimens of copper going out metal detecting, and I love the pieces that I have, but they can't. My mind would be blown if I ever came across something like one of these. I mean, just the size of these. I wish I had a reference, like a yardstick in there or something. You know, I can't tell you how big these chunks are. Look at that. Gorgeous. And here's some local silver. They definitely have a lot more copper up there than silver, but you will see some silver coming out of Michigan. A lot of it is combined in these nuggets, these hybrid pieces here, where it's half copper and half silver. Look at that piece. Isn't that something? And the curator, whoever takes care of these pieces, because they do tarnish, silver and copper tarnishes over time, and whenever I go in there, all the pieces just look phenomenal. So they really take great care of their specimens up there. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I could have spent all day there, but we just spent a couple hours because I didn't want to bore. Oh, look at this. These are meteorite specimens coming again from all over the world. Now, look at this thing. I don't even know what this is. I can't remember. I really wanted to keep in mind what this was, but I had to include it, even though I don't know what it is. It's just crazy looking. How does something like that grow in nature? All right, like I was saying, we spent a couple hours there. I could have spent all day, came back the next day, but I didn't want to bore my new friend out of his mind. I think we both enjoyed the place, but we wanted to get out in nature. So we followed this beautiful path. We went north again into higher up into the peninsula, and we traveled here to Horseshoe Cove. What the body of water you're looking at here is Lake Superior. And you see those little islands going out into the water there? Well, that's all part of this big chunk right here on the left, this conglomerate. So we climbed on top of this. You it's a little sketchy. You got to be careful where you're walking. This conglomerate is magnificent. This is an ancient, I'm not a geologist, but from my understanding and from from looking at it, it has to be an old riverbed, because it's all these cobblestones all cemented together in this iron-rich material. And, well, if you walk all the way down to the end of that conglomerate, you start to see these crazy-looking pieces. And what these are some of the oldest fossils in the world. These stromulites that are kind of crazy. I believe they were single-cell bacteria. I don't know if they're bacteria or not, but single-cell organisms that kind of just layer over each other, somewhat like coral. And these were some of the first fossils, first animals on the planet. Before dinosaurs, before plants, or before the fish were in the ocean, these things were making these mounds under the shallow sea that was once over what we now call Michigan, the state of Michigan. All right, so we climbed out, we followed this out, and we took the path out a little further and found this another beautiful cove. And you see off to the right there, that was some more of that conglomerate that was extending out that got shifted away. Well, after that, we started heading south back towards Wisconsin, but we couldn't stop. We couldn't not stop at some of these copper mines, do a little metal detecting. This is one of my favorites. This is Cliff Mine. I showed it in one or two of my previous older videos. Anytime I go up to the UP, I gotta stop here. There's several great mines, but this one always blows my mind. The old foundations here that are close to 200 years old, they're just amazing, phenomenal. Some of these pieces, this is all on a side of a big hill. And some of this stuff, that wall right there on the right, that's like 30 feet tall at its highest point. And it looks like it was always there. I mean, you don't see mortar, you just see these rocks piled up on top of each other. And it's amazing. It's an amazing achievement what the people did to build these structures here that once were. Here's a big tower here. I'm assuming that was once a furnace of some sort. I should do all the history of it so I know for sure, but all I know is there was fire going through there at one time. I'm assuming it was to melt down copper, but I don't know for sure what they were using it. There's another tower like this up at the top of the cliff where they dumped all their tailing piles, and it pretty much looks the same way. We did go metal detecting. I didn't get much footage of that, so I didn't include it in here, but we found a good handful of pieces. Nothing spectacular, but enough to set off the metal detectors and take home with us. Customer, I believe, took a few back with him as well. And then after that, we headed back down to Wisconsin, and yeah, it was like a 3-4 day trip. We went from Illinois to Wisconsin to Michigan. He got a lot of the sights of the North Woods in Wisconsin and in the UP. Now I hid it back in the lab. I sent him back off to O'Hare, and he flew out of Chicago and headed back to the UK. And I went back to the lab, and this is one of the pieces that I picked out metal detecting. And you see right there, now you see, starting to see some of that copper that's showing. There's a vein of copper running through this through this matrix here that we see. And you see that blue ooze that I poured over it. That is a mild like toilet bowl cleaner. That's exactly what it was, is a toilet bowl cleaner. I didn't want to use anything too harsh because it could dissolve some of the, I didn't know if that was quartz at the time or something else. Turned out to be quartz. But yeah, nice little specimen. It was probably the best one. You see some nice formation, crystalline formation here, crystal formation here. And that pocket runs right through that piece. You pick that rock up and it's about 4 times as heavy as you might think it would be. Yeah, a beautiful piece. I have that still in the lab, and it's hard to see, but there's a lot of copper coming through the bottom of that as well. Kind of sharp, pokey things, but gorgeous. I can't wait to go back up to the UP and hunt for some more copper. But had a great time with my new friend. Neither of us really wanted to be in the video, so you don't get to see much of what we were doing other than our exploration. But I hope you enjoyed glimpses of that museum and a couple glimpses of the forest up in the UP. And it all comes down to because of these 3 beauties. Look at those gorgeous ripples, nice shine. I hope you guys like them. They really turned out great. What an opportunity it was for me. Certainly appreciate it. I'm Jeff. This is Lithic Metals, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.